This is Chicago's very own WGN Midday News.
All right, today's Midday Fix. It's a mystery that most of us working moms would love to solve. We will spend hours discussing this, how to balance career and motherhood and all the rest of the stuff. So as we head into the new year, we are turning to one of the best experts out there in this field, executive career coach Elizabeth Pearson, who's here to give us some insight and just kind of guide us because, man, it is overwhelming.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And I think that some tips and tricks can help you kind of get through it and feel a little bit more balanced.
So the balance, let's start with there.
Yes.
Let's start with that key balance, because you feel that pressure, but how do you find the balance? I always feel like you're short in one area and then you're kind of dipping too far into the next arena. What do you recommend for folks?
I think that you can find balance. It's not always going to be feeling totally balanced all the time, but I think you can get into a rhythm where you don't feel like one part of your life is being overly sacrificed versus another. So the first way to do that is to drastically lower our expectations, right?
It's true,
For
though. It's so
true. We have this thing going on culturally right now where everything looks perfect on Instagram and Facebook and all of this stuff. And I think that that can just add undue pressure on us as mothers to make everything perfect at the same time. And that is really just going to set us up to feel like a failure in one area and put us out of balance. So the first step is to really drastically lower our expectations so that we can feel like we do have both of them and we're able to kind of juggle them and everything stays relatively in balance.
Do you feel like that there are seasons where you can excel at one and not the other?
Absolutely, Erin. I think that if you look at it similar to a pendulum, right? Where sometimes you're going to be really focused on family. Maybe you have a sick child you have to care for, an aging parent, something like that. You might have to kind of pull away from work for a little bit or take a holiday break, which everybody just had. But then it's really important to know that the pendulum will often swing back to career, and that's okay too. So as long as the pendulum continues to swing and go back and forth, you're okay. When it gets stuck on one side is when you start to feel out of balance.
I agree. And what about when you do take some time off? Let's say you take that maternity leave and then suddenly you want to get back in and you just feel completely out of sorts, almost like you were never there before, you know?
It's a huge issue, right? Kind of re-entering the workforce after you've taken a maternity leave. And if you're lucky enough to get something more than the average 12 weeks, maybe it's 6 months or you take a full year off, it's really important that you strive to stay relevant in your industry. So I recommend that women take online courses or join networking groups, anything that kind of keeps you like in the know of what's going on in your career field. You know trends that are emerging, and then you can speak in an educated way to your boss or recruiters or hiring managers about anything that's going on in the industry. When you can speak to what's going on and they know that you've been kind of dialed in, then it's much easier for you to get that new job or reemerge and feel more confident in doing it.
And you do a lot of work in this field about, so let's say I'm feeling insecure. I'm feeling like, oh, I would really love this position. I want to come back strong, but I just don't feel like I've got this going for me right now. You've been saying to a lot of women for a long time, don't feel that because it's going to come across in your conversations, how you carry yourself. Is that a big piece of it, do you think, for women setting themselves up for failure in the workplace?
100%. Self-confidence is something that is absolutely critical to advancing in your career. So whether or not, if you feel like you've got that imposter syndrome going on or something like that, especially if you've been out of the game for a little while and you come back, that is going to radiate off of you. And no matter what words are coming out of your mouth, if you don't have a deep peace and self-confidence, it's going to be really hard for somebody else to be able to trust you and promote you or give you those opportunities. So it all starts on the inside, right? So if you do these things, right, if you stay relevant and you stay connected to coworkers or keep your LinkedIn going and you feel like you're still in it, then you will be more confident.
So for people who don't know you, this is like the tip of the iceberg. You delve so much deeper into all of this. So I want to direct people to your website and your books and everything else that you've got going on. So for more information, you can check out ElizabethPearson.com. And also remember, we're going to have a link on our website to all the ways you can follow her. There's a list of her Instagram, everything else out there. Just head to WGNTV.com. We will be right back. And I love this because so many women kind of geared up for the new year. And then we fall apart because there's not a game plan. And you've got the game plan. Right.
It doesn't need to be resolutions. Just get a long-term goal for 2020 and then take steps every day to set you up for success to achieve that goal. And you'll make it.